that the sanctions that have been imposed to date have had no effect on it. And I want to underline that that's the view of the Obama administration's Director of National Intelligence, who testified about 10 days ago to that effect to the Senate. You know, we hear a lot of propaganda, really, by the proponents of sanctions that they're having an effect on Iran and so on and so forth. But the Director of National Intelligence testified that all of the sanctions to date had not changed Iran's policies or behavior on its nuclear weapons program. Look, Iran has been the world's central banker of terrorism for decades. They've been listed on our list of state sponsors of terrorism for a long time. The Justice Department just got an indictment against top Iranian Revolutionary Guards officials for conspiring to kill the Saudi Arabian ambassador to the United States on the streets of Washington. So I think the Israeli diplomats are vulnerable, and it shows just how barbaric the mullah's regime in Tehran is. And if you don't like any of that activity, just imagine how much worse it gets once they get a nuclear weapon. As the Director of National Intelligence said, Obama's own appointee, nothing that has been done so far has affected the nuclear weapons program. As a general proposition, sanctions are only effective if they're truly comprehensive and rigorously enforced. And on the oil question specifically, India has said it will continue to import Iranian oil. China has. Turkey has. But are the sanctions going to bring them to their knees on the nuclear program? No way. And I think it's delusional. It objectively benefits the Iranian nuclear program if you truly think sanctions are going to work here, because it lulls us into a very false sense of security. The Obama administration fears an Iranian nuclear weapon less than they fear an Israeli strike. I think that's misguided. I think the U.S. position ought to be to support Israel. And I think we're in a very dangerous period here for Israel. Honestly, they should have struck about 4 years ago, because the program now in Iran is so extensive that they may attack and yet not really break Iran's control over the nuclear fuel cycle, which is a very unfortunate circumstance. We're running out of time. Israel's running out of time. Nobody can calibrate exactly when Iran will get the bomb, and you don't want to miss by even 1 day, because then the Iranian retaliation itself could be nuclear.